Week 2, the Battlehawks win in the Dust Bowl as a big dusty fool. I am one of your hosts, Dirty. Joining me as always on this Wednesday night is the one, the only, we can't call her the hyena anymore because she is an important person, the one and the only.
Amanda.
And then our other sidekick of the day, yes, it was a Dusty Rhodes, and he is still cleaning himself off from Saturday's game. I don't think he's taken a shower in the week. The one and the only
Big Daddy Ed.
BHAWK Live starts now, boys and girls. Daddy Ed, where you at?
Three, two, one. Three, two, one.
Welcome to the show. I am Spurge, a.k.a. Dirty. This is BHAWK Live. Sitting right next to me, as always, on a Wednesday night, the lovely and the third loudest mouth in the Midwest next to me, the one and the only
Amanda.
And right below her is the quietest mouth in the Midwest, with the prettiest forehead there is that doesn't shine anymore because of the dust, the one and the only
Big Daddy Ed.
First and foremost, guys, let's get right to it. The Dust Bowl that we sat in on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Get it done and over with.
As you might have seen, there were some posts put out on Twitter. I don't know about you, Daddy Ed. Amanda, I know you had black pants on. I had black pants on, but they were brown when we left the stadium.
They were, but that is not a Battlehawk issue. That is a dome issue.
Correct. You would have thought. Now I'm going to stick up for the Battlehawks. Hello, Sandy. Hello, Keelan. You would have thought that the Battlehawks would have said something, maybe got a refund. I don't know. But if I'm the Battlehawks and I have 40,000 people in that dome, I would be very, very upset. Exactly, Eric. If you didn't learn from last year, we need to wipe down our seats. Daddy Ed, you were sitting up a little higher than where me and Amanda were. You're right, Keelan. It was a dome problem, and that's exactly what we're saying. It was a dome problem. But Daddy Ed, you were sitting up a little higher than us. Were your seats as dirty as the seats in our area?
Mine were pristine. That just goes to show you that you guys were sitting way too low.
Is that what it was?
Hater.
Is that what it was? Yeah. You know, hey, listen. Hey, I'm glad. I do know this. I'll say this about the dome, and I get why they did it. They cleaned the hard camera side, which makes sense to me. Why you would clean the hard camera side. But at least wipe down the other side or give people paper towels or something to wipe down their seats. I mean, just a courtesy thing. You know what I mean? Am I right or am I wrong?
At least it's not something where they haven't had any events in there where it's dust, like from it just sitting there. But they've actually had events, and that was from Monster Jam. So
yeah, now look, I will say this. I was impressed that there were 40,000 people in there. What I wasn't impressed with was the Cronky Sunks chant and the F Cronky flags. Let's get this through your head, people. If you hold up a flag that says F Cronky, you're definitely not going to get on television. You're definitely not going to get on television. Am I right or am I wrong, guys?
You're right, but I didn't know that this was a counseling session. Last I checked, welcome everybody. This is BHAWK Live. This is not a fest of complaining.
We're just complaining about the dome. We're just complaining about the dome. I do have a lot to say about the game and some, but we do have a big announcement for tonight's show. We have a very big announcement, don't we, Daddy Ed?
Seems like we've got big announcements all the time.
Mm-hmm. We're just that good.
Like right here, yes, exactly. Joe, I agree with you. Stop telling the fans to take their damn banners down. The damn security is awful. It feels like they have some ushers from the Rams days that don't want to have people. Look, I get it. The beach balls. Oh, yes, exactly. Get rid of the beach balls. I agree.
I did like the streamers, though.
I do like the streamers, but I didn't like the D-bags
like
that were throwing beer cans on the field.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. But I did like the streamers.
I did like the streamers. The streamers don't bother me. Daddy Ed, do the streamers bother you?
No, I think they're kind of cool.
Right? They are kind of cool.
Especially when they come from the upper deck.
Oh my God, yeah, that was cool when they were coming down from the upper deck and how they like did the white and the blue. I thought that was really cool. The streamers don't bother me. The beer cans bother me a little. But I mean, overall, I gotta say this: a big shout out to the STL tailgate group, Rick Story's group. Daddy Ed, you are part of that tailgate group. You're parked over there. You guys did a very good thing this week with the as you guys know that we have been doing the charity of the book drive and stuff like that, which is right here. I was gonna hold up the flyer that I had. Why would I do that? That's dumb when we have it right here. Where did it go? Where'd the flyer go, guys?
It's up towards the top.
You have it? Where is it? Oh,
I don't
yeah, right here.
These things, I just show up.
I know, right there. There's our flyers, and thank you to everybody who brought books.
Thank you.
Daddy Ed, your entire front seat and back seat was filled with books, was it not?
Yeah, and right now they're in the entryway to our house. So I've got like from the front door through the whole entryway is books. So I think Mama Bear will be happy when the regular season's over and we deliver the books to the library.
Yes, we are. Yes, David Burnett, thank you so much. I know, Scott, you said you were bringing some books. We will be at the Mohawk Landing tailgate all year. Just look for those two big giant banners right behind Big Daddy Ed. That's where we'll be at. You can bring your books to us or right there. No, Chris, we're not doing a book burning, you idiot.
We're literally right around the corner from Rick's Story.
Yeah, and right here also, guys, if you're doing the pool tabs, Mohawk Landing is doing the pull tabs for Ronald McDonald House again this year. So if you're tailgating and you know what, Amanda, I think what we're going to do is we're going to walk around the tailgate this year.
Oh, my.
Again.
Oh, okay.
Listen, we're going to take our flyer. Look, we're going to take our flyer. And if you don't have books, you'll be able to scan our 2 QR codes and donate money. And we're also going to be walking around to be collecting beer tabs for Ronald McDonald's House. I think that's what we're going to do next week.
Someone's shins were hurting this last weekend. So due to his shins hurting, we were not walking around getting them.
Right. Exactly. So let's get to it. Let's get to the game. I have a new name for the Battlehawks. Yes, Sabrina. The PA announcer was not that bad. He did keep talking over us while we were saying the first down STL. He did not do his homework. You are right. That is my.
But he did catch on towards the end of the game.
But he never did it. It was always the fans. It was always the fans who did it.
Yeah.
He did not keep it up. I honestly think if my only complaint is that we need to bring back the old PA announcer. That's just my critique. But other than that, the Battlehawks have a new name called the Cardiac Hawks. I am no longer calling them the Battlehawks. Well, thank you, Gateway City Sports. And a lot of work does Gateway City Sports because, we are partnered with Gateway City Sports, fueled by them. Go to Gene Bond's thing, and you can see all the pictures that he had taken over that weekend.
And real quick, shout out to my dad and to Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company for bringing a bunch of BHAWK Live beer to the tailgate. I hope a lot of you enjoyed it. I know a lot came over and wanted to try it and had great feedback. So awesome.
I did too. Daddy Ed, did you have any feedback on the BHAWK Live beer?
I've got all positive. I've got all positive feedback on the beer. Of course, when you're handing out free beer, there isn't too many people that are going to complain. So,
No, a lot of people are saying thank you for the beer, Ed.
The beer
Here,
was
That
Scott
might
says
be-
the beer was delicious.
it might be a little bit more of a challenge this next game, though, with the 11:30 kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You do know where
Ronnie
you're
said the beer
tailgating
was
at,
very
right?
good. Enoch Flow, Ballhawk 1 says the IPA is great. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of. Now, let's do the little critiquing. I wish they would go back to the old way of the introducing the players, where they drop the lights, do the player intros, and they come running out. They come running out on the field. This one, to me, a little more lackluster.
I think they were running behind or something, because even when Travis Feeney came out to talk before the game, I don't know what was going on with the mics, but I couldn't understand a word he was saying, and I felt bad because he was so pumped and ready, and the crowd still got excited. So
Can we do beer
good.
mosas
What?
Maybe with the citrus.
with the citrus? We could do a beer
Yeah,
mosas.
maybe.
And Aaron, we are literally at the Grace Baptist parking church lot right across from the dome on 7th and Cole. That's where we are. Like I said, just look for Daddy Ed's banners right there, and you'll find us right there. Yeah, I did like the cannons. That was good. So Eric goes with a hoppy IPA. But overall, this team, man,
Is this the way it's going to be every game?
it seems to be that way, doesn't it?
You're used to it, old man. You watch Minnesota play, don't you? See how it felt watching a Minnesota Viking game.
I mean, look, if one thing, Daddy
Biting your
Ed,
nails
what
all the
we've
time.
been saying since last year, right, Daddy Ed? There's a certain person on this team that's an actual beast. That is an actual beast. And somebody on this show talked about how terrible he was and how we needed to get rid of him. But listen, the bright spot of these first 2 weeks has been the AJ McCarron,
I'm not
connection with the beast man himself, Marcel Aitman.
Yeah, I have to.
And I believe if you turn back the pages of time, you'll hear that Big Daddy Ed was telling you to look out for him this year.
Mm-hmm.
You did, but you also said look out for Wayne Goldman and what's he done so far.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and who also had Durant, thank you, on their fantasy football team last year, thank you, that beat this guy down here.
Yeah, Durant has been doing very well, and it didn't look like AJ's finger was bothering him at all this week.
He
in that
was
second
throwing some dimes.
Yes.
They were perfect.
Now, Daddy Ed, we were in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
AJ did not look the best. We know that it was his finger was hurt, right? We know that it was his middle finger on his throwing hand was hurt, missing the nail.
I'm not convinced that he didn't look good in Michigan. You're the one that's been talking about him not looking good in Michigan. Do you know what his QBR was in Michigan?
In Michigan?
It was a 131.7.
That's true. It was.
That's pretty damn good. So I don't know that I would say that he struggled at all in Michigan. But
it seemed like in the second half in Michigan, he was starting to overthrow or underthrow the balls a little more. In this game, when he finally said, put the ball in my hands, I think a certain coach heard it, and we saw what happened when you put the ball in A.J. McCarron's hand. He started lighting it up.
Yeah, I always like the pictures they show when the offense is humming and they have big plays, they'll show the offensive coordinator up in the box, and he just looks like he's just as excited as excited can be, and he's just like a little schoolgirl hopping around and smiling and everything. And I'm like, yeah, funny how that works.
I mean, like right here, that
no,
AJ and
it was
Aiken connection is dangerous.
No, but if I had to give an MVP to the game, I would give an MVP award to the offensive line, because it was obvious that the offensive line was clicking, and once they got that run game going, it opened up the whole field because the play action pass worked.
Mm-hmm.
They was able to stretch the field. The defense started getting on their heels. So kudos to the offensive line. I thought they had an outstanding game.
I mean, listen, I can't disagree with you.
So did this guy.
That DS11 is just I don't know.
Killing
And like
it this year.
Like Aaron says right here, can't wait until they get Pearson back and healthy too. The way that AJ and Aitman has been playing very well together, it's just very, very, very good. And can you imagine you get Peasy, Aitman, Durant, and then Akeem making those impossible catches like he does? I mean, can you imagine this?
Too.
I mean, Amanda, can you imagine? Can you imagine that? How that's going to look?
No, but I'm curious as when Peasy does come back, it's kind of like when the Battlehawks played week 1. I felt like they had a lot of pressure on themselves. So I'm curious that when Peasy comes back, is that connection going to be there that Marcel and AJ have? So I'm curious to see that.
All right, Daddy Ed, off of what Amanda said with the connection between AJ and Marcel and then Peasy coming back, do you think that's going to affect that connection the two of these guys have had?
No, I don't think so. Pearson's going to have to work his way into the offense now. You know, he's talented, of course, so it's probably not going to take him long, but it's really going to put the defense in a quandary because, you know, it'd be easy to scheme the defense coming up and say, you know, we got to take Aitman out of the game. But if you have a healthy Pearson and Butler and Shepard, it's kind of hard to do that. So if we heard, is Pearson out for sure through week 4? Is he back week 4? Has anybody heard anything?
So I think the reports haven't come out yet, but I know that he said he was going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. So then that means that should put him around week 3, maybe week 4 at the most, which would be our next home game, is the latest that we could see him. Now, with that being said, you both being football fans, both being Viking fans, with the great defenses that the Vikings have had over the year, you know, Daddy Ed, you'd said that with Peasy, when Butler starts going, Shepard, Aitman, you have 4 dudes right there. What kind of defense would you play those guys? If you're an opposing defense, what kind of defense are you going to use to try to stop those 4 guys, Daddy Ed?
You're almost going to have to go to a nickel or dime defense and bring in an extra back, and because I gotta think that they're going to try and do a lot of quick hitters between the linebackers and the safeties and work that middle of the field, and then have Aitman down the sideline, Butler working the seam. I mean, that's really shoot. I mean, there's wide receiver screens you can run. There's jet sweeps that you can run. I mean, it's just your offense is just limitless. But I guess, you know, we talk about offense. Was it not awesome to see Peta in his first home game? I mean, because, you know, week 1 he had 1 tackle for the game. This last game he was a force. He had 2 sacks, and God, he made a lot of big plays.
Oh,
well,
man,
I want to say
what's your take on that?
Well, I want to say this, and what I've noticed, right, is that a lot of the plays that are being made by AJ are from previous Battlehawk players. You can clearly tell that that connection he has with the previous Battlehawk players is huge. I don't hear Blake Jackson's name come up like I do of Marcel Aitman or Durant or DS11. I don't see that. I don't know if you guys all do as much. Dirty, do you see it? Because
I mean, to
don't.
be honest, no. I'm seeing that AJ is relying on the people that he thinks that are his go-to. I mean, we've seen where quarterbacks will rely on people that they trust. Like you would see it a lot with, I mean, prime example, let's look at, you look in the NFL. When Joe Montana needed to make a big play, who did he go to? Jerry Rice. When Kirk Cousins needed to make a big play, who did he go to? Jefferson. When Mahomes needs to make a big play, who does he go to? Kelsey, because those are the guys they're comfortable with. I think AJ is comfortable with Marcel, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time during practice for him and Peasy to warm up. But I think once him and Peasy warm up together, I think that's where it's really going to be the dangerous conversation, like Daddy Ed said, because you have Arlington saying man-to-man defense. You have a Ronnie Brown saying a 3-3-5 defense. So, I mean, it's going to be really hard. But now, I like this question from Ballhawk 1 here. Where do you all think the weakest position is? Amanda, where do you think our weakest position is?
Week 1, it was the offensive line. This last week, I can't even say running game either because Durant did good. I don't know. I mean, here's my biggest thing is that I feel like we should be having more sacks than we are having. I mean, other than Wells having a great game, I'm just not seeing, and PETA having a great game, I don't really see the sacks coming. I don't know. That's me probably. I mean, the D-line is not bad. I'm not saying it is, but I would like to see the sacks that like Kevin Atkins used to do. Belly and all. Just saying.
Daddy Ed?
I'm a little disappointed with cornerbacks. It seems like on defense, we do a solid job on first and second down, but it seems like sometimes we can't get off the field. There's a lot of third down conversions being made, and seems like a lot of times those third down conversions are sideline passes. I know I can't think of the cornerback's name, but there was a cornerback for the Battlehawks that gave up 3 straight completions in the first half, I remember. And so I would have to say defensive backs probably at this point is maybe still a weaker link for us, but a lot of that comes down to defensive line play because, as PETA and a defensive line puts more pressure on the quarterback and gives the quarterback less time to get comfortable in the pocket, the quarterbacks and the safeties don't have to cover the positions for so long. So, but I think cornerback probably. I was really happy with the offensive line, but I think they still gave up. Was it 2 or 3 sacks for the game? So we need to clean that up. But I think Durant took the job at running back.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just claimed the starting job. I was really shocked that Gallman hasn't played a bigger role, but he was pretty much non-existent this last game. Gallman. I mean, he had 2 or 3 carries is all he had.
Yeah, it was something like that. I mean, we could sit here and pick and choose where the weak points are on this team. I mean, like Daddy had, like you said, the secondary is kind of weak. Amanda, like you said, our running game, our O-line's a little weak. I mean, I think we're in week 2 of this season. We know they had 4 weeks to really practice and all that. But to me, we're really going to see where we're at by next week, by week 3, week 4. Then we can really see where our weaknesses are. I mean, we do know this. We do know that when the O-line draft wasn't very deep. Not a lot of deep players. We know that the cornerbacks and the secondary was not a very deep draft pool. So, but the way this team plays is just gives you heart attacks. Gives you a heart attack every time you watch them.
But
I
I'm
mean-
telling you, and you cannot tell me that week
Mhm.
one, how they played week one, and the difference of how they played week two, that it had nothing to do with the pressure at all. Of
Listen,
AJ coming back and having to be the team that they were last year. I'm just not. I can tell you why half the way they are a good team is because they have new bags. That's why.
she goes, they have new bags, Daddy Ed. Listen,
Mhm.
everybody knows I've been very critical of AJ, but at the same time, I have given AJ his praises. I said, what AJ makes this team the best team in the league. And that's all there is to it. I think sometimes AJ tries to do more than what he should. But here's the one thing that we keep forgetting out of all of this, and this even goes for Arlington. You had 40,000 people in that stadium. And do you know there was not one false start or not one defense offsides play call? You guys do realize that?
Mhm.
Not one. Not one on either team. Now, what does that mean? What's the testament of that? Is that it's these players are coaching themselves up. These coaches are coaching their players up to not get these calls. I mean, what's your guys' take on that one to see that? Because I mean, how often do you see that?
Well, obviously, Coach Stoops had his team ready to play. So, I mean, I'm sure they went through the drills all week about not, blasting the music and practice and trying to communicate with no sound. I mean, I'm sure. Hats off to Stoops. He had his team ready to play.
I mean, Amanda?
Well, hats off to the fans for being quiet when the O-line was out there. Thank you. It was not loud when AJ had that ball. It was probably the quietest I've ever heard that dome, ever. It was awesome. So kudos to the fans on that one from me.
See, like Eric says right here, he goes, let's see a USFL team come in here and feel the wrath of the STL.
We don't have to wait long, do we?
No, we don't, do we?
So why is can I ask this real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Why is week 3 so important for the Battlehawks this week?
Oh my God, it's huge.
I know. I want you to explain for me.
Well, okay, I'll go first. You're talking the Brahmas, who are 2-0. Battlehawks are 1-1. DC is what? DC is 1-1 also.
DC is 1-1 also, yes.
And then the Renegades are 0-2.
And I think DC's going down this week to Arlington. So that's going to put DC at 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
If the Battlehawks lose to San Antonio, they go to 1-2, and San Antonio sits at 3-0 with the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So and turn it around. So instead of being 1-2 and they're 3-0, if you're able to go down there and take the game, you're both 2-1, but now you've got the tiebreaker on them. So you go from being a half game up to being 2.5 games down. That's a big swing in 1 week.
And in my opinion, I don't think a team that has more than 2 losses will be in the playoffs.
Well, that's a big change of heart for you.
When I said everybody was going to be 5-5,
you said everybody was going to be 5-5.
Right? Yeah, I did. I did. It's going to be. It's going to be the big game, like Daddy Ed says.
Week 7 last year against Seattle was the big game. So that's why I was curious. I mean, I know we're going to have another one, but.
Oh, speaking of that, we have a special guest here joining us today.
We better
Yes.
take a commercial break first.
Oh, do we? Okay, Daddy Ed, go ahead and take the commercial break then, Daddy Ed. I'll let you pick it because thank you to our great sponsor, Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company out there in Hillsboro, Missouri. Now, as some of you may know, we announced it that our lovely Amanda, who we can no longer call the hyena, is no longer with Fuel as our PR director. She has accepted a position, as you see, with the media PR chair for Autism Speaks. And with that being said, we actually have a special guest to help us announce something in honor of Amanda and Daddy Ed for Autism Awareness Month. I'm going to bring in the one and the only Miss Alexis Warshaw. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, Alexis.
Hey, I am good. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good to see you. Surprise, Amanda.
Yeah, this is a surprise.
Now,
I did not know.
Alexis, tell everybody what it is that you do for Autism Speaks real quick, and then we'll get into the big announcement that we have for this month with that Fuel is doing with Autism Speaks.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a field development manager for Autism Speaks just in the Heartland region. So that's Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, Arkansas. So we're really busy bees here. My main responsibilities is to do event planning and be that connector to the families who are diagnosed or get impacted by autism with the service providers in their areas. I also work with service providers, the sponsors, and we just kind of full round circle, well-roundedly, just coming as a community as big supporters for autism.
Correct. Now, Fuel, when we started this way back in the day of me and Arlington, we weren't the charitable type. It wasn't until we got tied up with Amanda and Ed that we kind of created Fuel with all of these super fans, and we did our Autism Speaks event out at Wild Sun. Now, I just found out that this is Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
And you met the t-shirt guy that helps us do our Fuel shirts.
I did, yeah.
And would you like to tell everybody and surprise Amanda and Ed of what we are going to do here at Fuel for Autism Awareness Month?
I will. So we are making an Autism Speaks influenced or inspired shirt for Fuel. It has kind of the spectrum of our colors, like Autism Speaks. It's a spectrum of just intellectual disabilities. It could be the lower functioning, medium functioning, or high functioning. So we just had that spectrum to demonstrate all of it. And so that color is inspired by our logo. And we just wanted to kind of collaborate with Fuel for the month of April, Autism Awareness Month.
Do you guys see your shirt there? Amanda, Daddy, do you guys see your shirt?
I do.
Do
Yeah.
you like it?
Amanda, do you
do.
see your shirt?
Oh,
Oh.
I see it.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Nothing.
What's wrong? And right there is our link that you guys can go and buy our shirt for Autism Speaks, where it's a limited edition shirt. We're only doing it for the month of April, is what we're doing it for. Oh, okay, we got hers. I knew we would get her. But
we wanted to surprise you. I hope they're tears of joy.
they are tears of joy. I kind of let the bag out to Daddy Ed, and
he wasn't so surprised.
Oh no, he was, because he hadn't seen the finished product of the shirt. You know, and there's Kenny. So thank you to Kenny, who is helping do the shirt and all of that stuff. Are you okay? Would you like to say anything to the fans and anything like that there,
Why
girl?
Did you notice the modification that they replaced the periods on fuel with puzzle pieces?
Yes, Daddy, I did.
Yeah, I don't know if it was good enough, but yeah, we wanted to do an inspired one. So I thought it was just, and Kenny made it literally within a day. So, I mean, he did a phenomenal job, and Jason with all your help as well. And I think it's definitely going to be a big hot commodity.
Here's what the shirt looks like without the without the shirt and all that stuff. You guys can see it right here. This is the logo, inspired logo of Fuel. As you see right there, it's the puzzle pieces, and it's like Alexis says with the autism thing. I know the link doesn't work. Oh, it does work? Okay, perfect. So go on there, buy the shirt, because the proceeds of all shirts that are sold and bought will go to Autism Speaks and all of that stuff. Now, Alexis, now I got a question for you.
Yes.
What was it that made you choose to take our lovely Amanda away from us here at Fuel Sports Network? What was it that made you take her away from us?
Well, I hope I don't completely take her away from you guys. I hope she's still able to help Fuel. But what I loved about Amanda the first time I kind of spoke to her and got involved with her last year when you guys created a team, which was an amazing team, and we did a great Trek presentation at the BHAWK. I just loved her energy. I loved how much she cared about Blake, and I loved just like how personable she is. She can communicate, talk to anyone just like myself, and that's what makes it really easy when it comes to media and PR. You can't be afraid to be in front of people. And just kind of over the weekend, I mean, Amanda amazes me every time we speak on the phone, just because we make things happen. Like if we want to try and do an experience of some sort in the future, like she is right there to kind of connect those dots, help me connect those dots, and then we kind of make that growth or make that relationship with someone. And I hope I don't take her completely away from you, but she will be mine for probably the whole year, as we have this event planning.
I know that this was, and I know Ed even knows that it was a dream of Amanda's to actually work with Autism Speaks. Yes, Scott, we will be posting it in the tailgate spots. All of the Facebook pages you'll be able to find it at, and I'm sure you'll be even able to find it on, I don't know, I have to ask Alexis off the air if we can maybe share it to like the Autism Speaks pages or something like that. I don't know. But we're not going to get anybody in trouble. But this has always been a dream of Amanda's to work with Autism Speak, so we were more than happy for you to steal her from us, to let her do her dream and stuff like that with the work that she's done with Blake at the schools, bringing in those boards and all of that stuff, so this was been her dream. So we're more than happy that you took her from us, and we hope she does a very, very good job, and we wanted to surprise her with this, so...
Absolutely. I know that she's going to do an amazing job, and I'm happy that I can make her dreams come true. We're a great organization. We're growing constantly, and we just really want to support all. So I'm happy I got Amanda on the team.
Now, one more question before we go, because I know you said you had some work. I was texting you, and I had somebody leaning over my shoulder. Who are you texting? I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about who I'm texting. That was your first BattleHawk game.
It was my first BattleHawk game. Yeah.
What did you think of the tailgate, the whole, like what Fuel stands for, Fan United Experience, Legion? What did you think? Give your experience of the whole day of being there.
Honestly, I wasn't there the whole day. So I got there probably around, I think, 5. I know Amanda said the tailgate started at 9. So I'm kind of sad that I missed out on like the day event in the morning and stuff. But I mean, there was just everyone of all shapes and sizes, just they're supporting, they're enjoying. They all have the same love for the BattleHawks. I mean, like you definitely felt the team spirit right when you walked into the tailgate. I was just quite amazed with everyone's like, not costume, but just how they showed how much they're big fans. I know we got a picture. I'll have to send that picture to you, Amanda, of us. Remind me that one's name. He was a character.
BHAWK 1.
BHAWK 1.
There we go.
or
Yes.
Excalibur? Which
No,
one?
it's Excalibur. That's what it was.
Excalibur.
That one,
Yep.
that one. Yeah, we took a picture with him. I was just quite amazed. And then what you did, Big Daddy Ed, just with all the kids there. I mean, they were just so happy to be there, be a part of that team spirit. Once again, community's huge in St. Louis, so it doesn't surprise me at all, like how big that BattleHawk game and that tailgate just in general was. So it was a really great experience, and the suite was great. I loved all the people. I think it's just like a fun crowd of great people just to be around.
And
The only,
go
the
ahead,
only
Daddy
thing I
Ed.
have, the only thing I haven't figured out quite yet, though, is grown men's infatuation with feathers. I haven't
here we
quite
go.
put all that.
Now hold
haven't
on,
put all
Daddy
that
Ed. I've got to
together
mute
yet.
Daddy Ed because I had spoke with Excalibur today, Alexis, and I have a message for you from Excalibur. Excalibur said he will be willing to go to any event that Autism Speaks is having, to be there for the kids, to be there for the families. All you have to do is let me know when that event is, and if he can make it, he will be there at your event to spread his Excalibur-ness to all
And
of these
feathers.
kids and all of and his feathers, as Daddy Ed said.
That's right. Just don't ruffle his feathers.
Yeah, don't
Oh.
ruffle it. Don't ruffle it. Well, I know we have a kickoff event this fall, so I love it. If any character wants to come, I'm always open to that. So I really love it. I'm happy I got to be a part of the call community. Really love like the shirt "Call is the law" and just hearing Cacaw throughout the whole game. That was pretty good. So it was really great to experience it. So I hope to do so many more.
Yeah. All right, Amanda, do you have anything you want to say to your new boss?
Not new boss, friend.
All I can say is I'm ready. So let's go.
I'm excited. I know.
And thank
you're
you so much for helping with all this too. I really appreciate it. Really excited. As you can tell, I'm trying not to cry.
I wish I can give you a hug right now. No, you're
I know.
amazing. You really are. You're an amazing person, a great mother, an amazing supporter. I mean, like, I'm just so happy that we made this connection last year, and then we're just going to continuously grow it. So I'm excited. We got
This
big
is just
stuff
the
in the works, so stay tuned.
I know, this is just the beginning, people.
Sure
Yep.
is.
All right, Alexis, I know you have a lot of work to get done because that's what you said in
So
your text, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. But thank you for coming on and surprising Amanda with the autism-inspired shirt that we are doing for the month of April. So thank you. Is there anything else you would like to say? Oh, here we go, Chris. Here goes Chris. Boss friend.
Boss friend. That works.
You gotta love our fans.
Hey, well, yeah, I love it.
Anything else? Oh, here, look. Thanks,
I'm
Alexis.
just happy to just be a part of it, guys, and just thank you so much for the support. And I'm just happy that we're going to keep it going. I'm excited.
That's right, people. Just the beginning. Thanks, Alexis, for coming.
All right,
on.
thank you, ma'am.
Good night.
Have a
Sounds
good
good.
one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. That was Alexa Warshaw from the Autism Speaks. She is the head of the chapter here in St. Louis.
We will be back right after this.
Right. So, Amanda.
Houston, we've triumphed. I've made it back to Earth with the cargo intact. The game-changing, time-sensitive payload is none other than the revolutionary energy flavor we've all been waiting for. Introducing Merc Mayhem Cherry Limeade. Merc Clan played a crucial role in securing this energy flavor, and together we've unlocked the future of power. Merc Mayhem is not just a drink, it's a statement, a fusion of relentless energy and bold flavor. The secret is out. Merc Mayhem is set to redefine the energy landscape, leaving ordinary drinks in its cosmic dust. Get ready for a taste explosion that matches Merc Clan's unparalleled power. Join the revolution, and let's unleash Merc Mayhem upon the world. Astronaut M signing off.
Welcome back to the show. I am one of your hosts, Spurge, a.k.a. Dirty, co-founder of Fuel. And right across from me, right over there, is you see the media PR chair for Autism Speaks, the one, the only.
Amanda.
And then right below her is the quietest mouth on the Midwest, the one and only
CFO of the Sports a Fuel Sports Network, and I just want to make sure everybody knows.
Back. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Who gave this man control of anything on the board?
You
That's
must
what
not have
I
heard his
would like
mouth
to
when
know.
he gets mad, though. He's got the quietest mouth on a regular basis, but if he gets mad, his mouth ain't quiet.
Right.
Give me an eye roll. See what happens.
Right. Here you guys go.
Not Chihuahua.
As promised, right there on our page, right there pinned at the top is the link to go get your shirt. The autism inspired fuel shirt. As you see, it's $20. Proceeds go to Autism Speaks. It is a limited edition shirt. It is only good through the shirt. This is only going to be good through the month of April. This is your pre-orders. Order your shirts now. Shirts will be shipped out the first part of May. So please, everybody, go get your shirt. And this just isn't for St. Louis, because fuel is all over in every single city in the UFL. This shirt is available to all fans within the UFL. So please go get your shirt, share it. Let's raise some money for Autism Speaks, because we are going to be involved in all of these stuff and all of these autism stuff around in all of the UFL cities. All right, so let's get to it. We got a game coming up against the Brahmas, right? We've already talked about the game. You know, we're trying to stay away from the negative. We don't want to bash. Really wasn't a whole lot of negative to critique on this team on Saturday, other than the dusty dome that we had. But are you guys afraid with this Brahma game and the BattleHawk game? Daddy Ed, you start first.
Well, one thing's for sure we won't have to worry about. We won't have to worry about crowd noise, because San Antonio, I don't think is going to be too loud.
This is true.
You know,
This is true.
I mean, how loud can it be? What are they going to have? Maybe 20, 24,000?
Ooh.
No,
Oh, man.
Daddy Ed is laying it out. Laying it out flat.
Go on, Daddy Ed. You already made it an ouch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, thanks.
well, I think it's going to come down to whether the San Antonio can figure out their offense or not, because, you know, for 3 quarters, what they have, a couple first downs against Memphis. They were still able to win the game, so you got to give their defense a lot of credit for keeping them in the game, but you can't rely on your offense to score 20 points in the fourth quarter every week. So I think that it's just a big game. I think Coach Beck's going to have his team ready to go.
Oh, okay. Amanda, we were in San Antonio for the game last year.
I can say this, right?
Mhm.
I need Kirkland to get married by that weekend, so he will not be playing, because
You mean
we
this
know
weekend?
how. Yeah.
This weekend.
Yep. Because
Thank you, Sandy, for ordering your shirt.
we know how Houston was whenever they lost Kirkland last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I need him to get married by this weekend, so he cannot go. Like Trey Watson couldn't make the game that we needed him the most.
I don't
That
think
last
that's
year.
going to happen, Amanda. I don't think that's going to happen. But, Amanda, we were at that Alamo Dome for that game with the Brahmas. There were about 15,000 in that dome. And, Amanda, you got to admit, for being 15,000, that's that they were a rowdy crowd, were they not?
All I have to say
they
is
were
that
loud.
their defense better be on point for this game, the Battlehawks, because the Brahmas defense is amazing. But then can our offense live up to their offense?
Ooh, yes.
Because if you want to sit here and play apples for apples right now, it's an AJ Marcel game and a Kirkland game over there. So I don't know.
I mean, listen, I'll say this for the state for the having the crowd that they have, that the loudness of that crowd rivals the loudness of the crowd that we have in St. Louis and the mass of people. There's just something about the way that the Alamo Dome is set up that it kind of reminds me of Lumen Field, where the noise is distributed to go down onto the field.
It wasn't any louder than St. Louis, though.
I mean, it was, but I mean, it was okay. Eric's saying it's not loud; it's artificial. Okay.
Yeah, say, are they piping in? Are they piping in music, or are they actually yelling?
They're putting UPC pipe through whatever, and
is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I know I could say this. Well, now listen, the dome had mic set up too this week, because right where our seats were, there was a mic right there at the end of our section. Was there not, Amanda?
Yeah.
Right at the end of our section, there was a mic right at the end of our section right there. They always have them on the four corners of the end zone. And that there was one right there at the dome. I mean, that San Antonio crowd's pretty rowdy. And here's my thing with Wade Phillips.
Not consistent.
There you go. I don't believe in the son of bum. Let's just say it that way. But we have not lost to the son of bum. We have not lost to the San Antonio the Brahmas. So, I mean, the defense is good. They do have the see, like right here, they had a mic at the 50 right behind the BHAWK bench too. That's just the thing that the XFL, that's the thing that the UFL does and what Fox does. But if I'm not mistaken, the Brahmas have some of the best players and defensive players on the team in the league today as we speak.
Well,
I mean, we have the best quarterback. What was that?
Field goals will be interesting if they need to be played, because they're just getting a kicker over there. Literally, like, would they announce it today or yesterday?
So here it is. I'm looking at the top 10 for defense. This is where it's going to be interesting. I'm looking at the top 10 for defense right here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the top defensive players are on the San Antonio Brahmas. Now, mind you, like I said, as you see here, we have the number 1 quarterback in the league. Thank you, Jill, for ordering your shirts. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys for ordering your shirts. Please share it.
Can I interject one thing, like I said last year when you're talking about defense?
Go ahead, Daddy Ed.
If you're talking about the top 10 defenses, let's go points allowed, because if you're going to go by tackles, well, if your defense is always on the field, they're going to have a lot of tackles.
Oh, here we go with that again.
I mean, if your offense isn't holding their weight and the defense is on the field more than they should be, doesn't that automatically add up to more tackles?
Okay. Oh, no.
This is true.
Am I not saying that?
True.
No, that's true, but defenses do win championships. But here's what I will say as I look through the stats. I mean, Garber is the number 3 best quarterback in the league, right? A.J. McCarron is number 1. We have the number 3 best receiver or running back in Durant, and our McFarland is number 9 in the league. Receivers, we're tied with Marcel Aitman at number 1 and Shepard at number 5. They have Stevenson at number 2 and Amanda's guy, Kirkland, at number 6. So offensively, we're fine. My thing I'm worried about is our defense, because their defense is very, very stout and very, very good. That's what worries me about this new Brahmas team. I mean, am I wrong or am I right?
Well, all kidding aside, the place is going to be rocking. There's no doubt, and we'll see how good a week of preparation the Battlehawks have. Because as you talked about, the Renegades having no false starts for the game. Let's see, in a similar situation, what happens with the Battlehawks. So,
what are the chances we could have a repeat game from last year to this year too? Because we saw it happen last weekend for them. So
yeah, we did. Is it not exciting, the last 2 minutes of a UFL game? Is it not some of the most excitement to watch, that last 2 minutes?
Lately, I feel like a lot of the games have come down, especially this last week. A lot of the games were close.
Yeah, Daddy Ed?
the coaches, like I said, Coach DiFilippo in his game against the Brahmas, you could tell even with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter and a 19-8 lead, you could tell he was nervous just by the way he was acting with his players and the referees. He knew that he knew that he could lose that game. And,
look at this guy telling me to get off my own network.
Oh,
if I want to, I'll
Arlington.
reschedule that show. I'll reschedule that show for later. But hey, coming on right after us in 3 minutes is going to be the player perspective. One of the bosses has spoken. One of the bosses have spoken.
But the ultimate boss has not.
Jersey. No, I saw your clues. I saw you. Kevin, thank you for ordering your shirt.
Yeah,
but right after our show, in 3 minutes, is Player's Perspective. It is with Big Ham Jordan. I don't know. I don't want to screw up his last name. And DeAndre Francois. Go check it out. We recorded their show. They did it. And it's two players, a former player and a current player in the UFL, breaking down the game. Yes, Arlington, I know it's in 2 minutes. Shut up, you non-related idiot. I think we got everything we need to talk about other than
hosts don't call other hosts idiots, remember?
Huh? Y'all talking to me? Yes, Chris, we're all talking to you. But right after our show, please go check that show out. Let's get to the picks. You know my pick. I was 7-1 on my picks. Are we doing all the picks for you guys too, or are we just doing the one game? I can't remember.
Well, I asked if I could do all of the teams, but you said no because I'm only on BHAWK Live. So if that's the case, then I'm going with the Battlehawks.
Yes, it is only on Fuel Network. That is the only place you can watch it. Okay, so Amanda's going with the Battlehawks again, 2 weeks in a row. Daddy Ed?
I got the Battlehawks. 2
weeks in a row. And, of course, I already picked the Battlehawks, but this game scares me. I don't know how it's going to work. It's going to be a very, very scary game for me. But other than that, do we have anything else since Arlington's yelling at us and rescheduled us and I started us late because we're idiots?
Other than if you are a nail biter, try not to bite them until this weekend so you have a little length to go off of. But it's going to be a
true.
good game.
Go buy the shirt, right, Daddy Ed?
That's right.
Go buy your shirt and bring us money. Right here. We'll be at Murphy's on 21 this weekend to watch the game. We'll have flyers. Come share. Come donate. Bring us books, all that stuff. Anything else, guys?
Thanks, everyone, for your support, too. I really appreciate it. And thanks, Alexis, so much for coming on.
Monday nights, Bottom Line Show. We'll see you guys.